What's up, YouTube? Welcome to a two-part series of installing lights on my Honda Element. The first part of the series is going to start off with the light switch controller. I bought this off Amazon. You can go a cheaper route if you want. You can also make this yourself, minus the fancy switch pad, but you can get this on its own, wire it up, wire up your own switches on the inside. There's plenty of videos on how to do that, or you can go get a relay box out of the junkyard and do the same thing. There's also tutorials on YouTube on how to do that yourself, but I wanted to do this as quickly as possible, and this is actually a very quality unit, so I went that route. Now on the light bars, I didn't go on the quality route. I went cheap. I went on Amazon, found a $25 20-inch light bar. It's going to work for what I'm going to use it for. It might not last as long as the expensive ones, but it'll still work. Also went cheap on the light pods. They're about $25. They're 5-inch light pods. These go on the sides of my roof rack. They'll be wired independently, so I can kind of light up the campground area at night if I need to be doing stuff on the side of my vehicle. The big light bar I'll be mainly using for finding the secluded campgrounds at night. Obviously, I'm not going to go into a busy campground and wake everybody up with my bright lights. So, and I'm also not going to be using this on the road. So, if you have a light bar, don't be using it on the road. Don't be that guy. Today, we'll start by installing this light control panel. It's made by Suitech, I think that's how it's pronounced. There's a couple different brands on Amazon of the same configuration, but this is pretty cool, honestly. There's a variety of different light controllers that you can buy, and they range from prices anywhere between $50 all the way up to about $300 or $400. This one is about $143 on Amazon. Let's unpack it here. This comes all wired together. This is a relay box. Pop it open. It has 6 relays in it and 6 fuses. The fuses are the power coming in to the relays and then going out to the lights. I would like that there would be fuses going to the light as well, but that's just not the way this one's designed. You can add a fuse box on your own if you like. So here's the wire. This wire goes into the inside of the vehicle to wire up the light switch. To wire this one up to a battery, wire this one up to an accessory that goes off of key power so that your lights can only operate when your car is turned on. It comes with 6 crimp connectors to wire your lights to. The unit also comes with these light switches. All you have to do is just press it on and your lights come on. It's pretty nifty. So this would just mount anywhere in your vehicle. You also get some zip ties. I already have zip ties, so that doesn't matter. And some things that I don't like that it comes with. These quick crimp connectors. I hate using those on automotive purposes. You just throw those away. I also don't like I also don't like these cheap crimp connectors. I usually just throw those away and use the ones I've already have. And it comes with some screws, which those screws are not going to work for what I'm going to use them for because they're not self-tapping. I have self-tapping screws that I will be using. And you get some double-sided tape if you want to mount your switch panel that way. The unit also comes with a variety of stickers. Now, I read the reviews on this unit, and one of the complaints was that the stickers are exactly the same size as the buttons. So if you put it on just a little crooked, when you press the button, it gets stuck in. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to create my own stickers using my vinyl cutter. And also, I don't see all the stickers here. Some of those work for my applications, but some of them won't, and I don't want to have a mix match of stickers. So I'm just going to create my own, which you can use these if these match up to yours. Just, I would recommend trimming the sides of the stickers before putting them on. That way you don't run into having them just a little crooked and getting your button stuck. All right, let's go put this on the vehicle. Got that too. Probably put it back in the box when you do this.
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my choo-choo-la, choo-choo-la. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it up, turn it up.
Probably the first thing you want to do is find a place to actually put this unit. I decided I'm going to put it right about in there. So I'm going to have to fab up a bracket to go on the back of my original relay panel. Typically I'd go get an aluminum strip to make a custom bracket, but I have this L bracket here. I'm just going to cut the ends off of it and use this. So it already has holes drilled and everything, so we'll see how that works out. I don't have a vise, so I screwed it down to a board to keep it steady. Worked out pretty good. To get your relay box off, all you gotta do is start popping these tabs. Get that out of the way. You just push down the tab and lift up on the box. Then take this bracket off. Okay, so I got the brackets put on. Ideally, I would have bought some aluminum strapping and made these custom, but I just used hardware that I had laying around. I had these crappy bolts laying around, so they're not the right size. So it would have been best to go to the hardware store and do it, but I didn't want to go to the hardware store, so we'll see if this works. Oh, that did not sound good. Ha! Found it. Alright, so I'm basically just running the positive cable all the way to the battery. I'm not going to hook it up yet because I'm not hooking up lights today, so I'll just like wire, zip tie it off to the side for now. Alright, so I think I found where I can get into the cabin of the vehicle. Let's see if you can see it. I'm trying to get this light. This light. Right there. There's a grommet. That's your main wiring harness. It goes to your computer and whatnot. So I think that's about where only place I can get into the cabin. At least the only place I can find that I can fit my hands into. So I'm gonna work at trying to get this wire ran over there and slid into that grommet, and hopefully I'll be able to pull it through the firewall because it is tight. I'll show you. Oh yeah, you can't even see it. It's way back there. Not enough room to get your hand in. It is insane. Yeah, I might stick a rod or a coat hanger through there and tie the wire to it to pull it through, because there's no way I'm gonna get my hand in there and I might get lucky enough to shove the wire to a point where I can actually get a hold of it. We'll see. Let's get back to it. I've never seen one of these horizontal motors torn apart before. It's out of a Subaru. Actually, it's out of that Subaru right there. My roommate's gay co-worker owns that, and he's having my roommate do all the work. That's how the crank is. I'm not 100% sure how they get the rod bolts torqued. I've never seen one of these apart before. It's an interesting motor. Okay, not much light in there, but now that I got the grommet off, there's some electrical tape that seals the grommet to the wiring, so you kind of got to cut away the tape. Then what I did was I shoved the screwdriver through carefully. Don't want to damage any of those wires. Those are important wires. So basically, just work the screwdriver through there. Now I'm going to see if I can work that plug through that hole. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Now, if this was back in the day when I did things the wrong way, I would just cut a hole in the side of the grommet and stuck the wire through. But you know, if you don't want any, honestly, I don't think any water will get into there. But you never know how much rain, or if you get a flood situation, some water might splash up in there, or I might run into a patch of water that I have to go through. So I'm going to try to do this as correct as possible. So hopefully I can get through there. Otherwise I'm going to have to revert to my old ways. Alright. Looks like, oh, look at that. Oh yeah, it is now on the inside of the vehicle. Whew, that was a pain in the butt. Alright, now I just need to figure out how to get this wire over to the other side. Actually, I need to figure out how to get the controller wire to this side. It's actually pretty easy. I already know how to do it. So I'm gonna go over there and work on the switch. Well, it turns out the dual lock didn't want to stick to the plastic, so I went ahead and used the supplied mount, screwed it to the side here. And I really didn't want to screw into the plastic, and I really didn't want to drill a hole for the wire, but it is what it is. So I drilled a hole, routed the wire under the dash all the way to the other side, and hooked them up. The two wires are now connected. Alright, got everything all buttoned up. I'll probably give myself a D- on the routing for the control wire. But it is what it is. It's kind of intertwined in different things, so it's not my greatest work. So only thing I got left to do is connect the power, ground, and hook up each light. So on the next video in this series, I'm gonna put some lights up front. I'm gonna put some lights on my rack up there. So that'll probably be next week sometime, so stay tuned for that.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.